Hey there, friends and foes. Good morning, multiverse. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box, the pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while surviving adulthood today, because adulting can be hard. And this show is the show that helps what ails you. And this morning, we are going to take a deep dive into one of my favorite Saturday morning live action shows as we talk about Shazam. And we are going to do that right after this from the Murdering Crows.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean, Elvis Presley and he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
All right, guys and gals, friends and foes, we are back. And that awesome theme song was performed by our friends, the Murdering Crows. Get their record, Four Bad Crows, at Amazon, iTunes, Google, or anywhere you buy music. And of course, we need to acknowledge our Cereal Box super friends, Eli Cash, Cindy Kep, Sharice Collins, Dave Manginelli, Dave Mattingly, Greg and Crystal Jones. And you too can have your name in lights at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. And Tales of the Decoverse, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. This is my book series. I've not read it myself, but people tell me it's pretty awesome. And of course, our friend Sarah Jenkins, Every Beaten Path, available from Amazon, or better yet, your local bookstore. So we need to welcome the one, the only, my co-host for 11 years, and we were just having a great trip through time a moment ago, remembering our early days as broadcast partners, the power couple of pop culture. She is a multi-talented model, actress, photographer. She is a fan of Wizard of Oz, Ghostbusters, Friends, and all things dinosaurs. Please put your hands together for the one, the only, the incomparable Dee Barty.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm good. I like the comment there.
You know, it's been a while since I used that phrase, the power couple of pop culture.
It's been a while.
That used to be our daily nomenclature.
Yeah.
See, it's harder to use that when you're in a threesome. I mean, a trio.
We're a throuple.
A throuple with Willow Schuyler. Willow is our emotional support Canadian, the peppermint princess, the social media socialite. She is a fan of comic books, superheroes, X-Men in particular. She is phenomenal, all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, by magic of the interwebs. Give it up for Willow Schuyler.
Good morning.
Good morning, Willow. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Decided to give myself braces this week.
Oh, yes. So if you guys are not following Willow on social media, on TikTok or Instagram, she went on a little bit of a rant about not being properly warned about what the braces would feel like.
Well, I went for the Invisaligns, and for some reason, I thought the attachments were like were supposed to be magnetized, or just like clip-on mouth guard kind of thing. No, it honestly, right now, I have them out because I'm enjoying my cereal, and it feels like I have King Koopa, like in my mouth. Yeah, there's the image for you guys.
So. Am I alone? Am I the only one who has like super sensitive teeth? Like I can feel things on my teeth I think my teeth are more sensitive than my fingertips. D, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Now, D, did you at one time that since I've known you had braces?
Never.
No. Have you ever had braces?
No.
Nah, neither have I.
I just have
Um,
straight teeth.
my teeth aren't exactly straight. They're more
My
like
bottom teeth are super crooked, but my top teeth are.
yeah, mine are too. I got like werewolf teeth on the bottom.
My top teeth are so big, nobody ever sees the bottom, so it's fine.
Well, and mine are kind of my top teeth are kind of like Tom Cruise teeth. They're not perfect, but they look really good when I smile. Well, ladies, we have a big day today. We have a big topic, and D, I didn't even think to ask. Is that your dog?
Yeah, I was about to mute myself, and then you called me out.
No, that's okay. You can nod or shake your head.
She's
I
about
know-
to stop. It's fine.
Okay.
I know why she's barking.
I know that this week is a big week, the big topic. I sent, as usual, a bunch of homework. Did anyone take the time to do it?
I watched yeah.
Dee's biting her tongue. She's biting her lip. That's all right, Dee. You are going to be our target audience this morning. We are going to introduce you to the magic that was the 1974 live action Saturday morning show.
Well, so
Shazam.
here's the thing. I actually like seeing it for the first time and sharing that reaction with you, because when I watch it on my own, I'm like, and I can't, I can't talk about it.
Yeah, so here's what needs to happen. We need to make this work where we can get together on a weekly basis and watch all this stuff together. It would be best if we could fly Willow down to join us, and one night a week we can catch up on everything that's going on, and that could happen.
Just do it like a meeting in StreamYard.
Well, here's
we
the
watch an
problem.
episode or two of these weird, funny shows.
Well, here's the problem with that is that D. Barty, like me, we are working like mad people, hustling. I mean, I probably work a solid 80 hours a week. Now, I can find time in that schedule to spend 30 minutes here, 20 minutes here. What I have a hard time doing is finding the same time as D has. And what would make it better is if I could go be there in person. Now, if the two of us, if the three of us didn't have to work day jobs and hustle the grind so much, we could make this happen every week. We just either need to win the lottery or get a really, really big corporate sponsor. Kellogg's, I'm looking at you. Post. So that brings us to this question. This show is about celebrating the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while surviving adulthood today. And we all have varying degrees of experience with that. But for me, Saturday mornings meant big bowls of cereal, sitting in front of the TV, watching cartoons, reading comic books, watching Godzilla movies, kung fu movies. And at about noon, my mom would kick us out of the house and we would be gone until late at night. We'd hop on our bikes and go down to the mall, down to the comic shop or whatever. But in between comics, cartoons, kaiju, and kung fu movies, we were reading the back of the cereal box because we didn't have smartphones or tablets at the breakfast table. That was our newspaper. That was our world. And that was, for me, my exposure to pop culture. So we're going to talk about those things from Saturday morning, and we're going to do it with big bowls of cereal. And that leads us to the first question. What's in the bowl? Now, Dee, I know you reject the entire premise of this show, But I'm going to ask anyway. Do you have anything in the bowl this morning?
I might surprise you every now and then.
I know.
But-
So last week you got a Fruity Pebbles bunny for Easter, and I forgot to have you taste test it on air. And you didn't remind me until we went off air. You were like, I got away with it. But do you still have that bunny?
I still have the bunny. He's sitting right here.
You have not gotten away with it. It is
Evidently
time
not.
for you.
No, it's going to be stale.
No, chocolate
Bite
does
the
not
head
get
off.
stale.
Sorry.
Bite the head off.
So this is a Fruity Pebbles white chocolate rabbit.
Oh, it's got Fruity Pebbles.
Oh,
Look
now
at
I have that song from VeggieTales in my head.
The bunny.
The bunny. The bunny.
Mm,
Oh,
I love the bunny.
Can we try it now?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. So DBRT is eating the ears off of the white chocolate Fruity Pebbles bunny. And I already know the result of this.
White chocolate is not good.
No, I love white chocolate.
I love white chocolate.
White chocolate with the right pairing is delicious. But
Mhm.
I have had the white chocolate Fruity Pebbles, just chocolate bar, and it's not good.
It's not good. It's
And the aftertaste is going to
It's
linger
weird.
for about 30 minutes.
It's really weird because it's like, ooh, white chocolate, and then it's like cereal. There's actual cereal. It's the actual cereal
Yes.
in the chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah. But I, on this one, D, we agree. I did not enjoy.
You could have warned me.
Well, what's the fun of that? Willow, do you have something in your bowl this morning?
I think I came to the end of my caramel toast crunch stuff.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
But it's good. I'll definitely buy it again for sure.
It's even worse with coffee. Just saying. Oh,
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Now I will give you guys a heads up that the Cocoa Pebbles chocolate bar is epic.
Ooh.
It's milk chocolate with the Cocoa Pebbles.
I'm gonna have to get
guys.
those.
Come on,
yogurt
Canada.
things.
We need this stuff up here.
I'm gonna go buy those yogurt. So they have. Remember, I sent it to you the other day. It's yogurt and it has like cereal in the top.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Try those.
the Dan and Yogurt cereal cups.
Mm.
Well, this morning I'm breaking out Fruity Pebbles Crunched. So I did a taste test of this live from Rathacon with Patricia Patz, the voice of Peppermint Patty. And she confessed on air that she is a Cocoa and Fruity Pebbles fanatic. She has Cocoa Pebbles almost every morning. And loves Fruity Pebbles. So we did a live taste test of this, and you can go back and watch that with Patricia Patz live from Rathacon. But instead of the little flakes, these are star-shaped pebbles, and they're very thick. And on the box it says they're stackable and crunchy,
Interesting.
and they are crunchy.
Do they taste like Fruity Pebbles?
No.
No.
They do not. Now, Patricia Patz said that to her, they tasted like Fruit Loops. So
I can
I'm
see
going to
that.
do a comparison this morning.
Okay.
I've got some Fruit Loops. I've got the Fruity Pebbles Crunch. Now, the back of this box is actually pretty fun. So it has the Flintstones jamming out as a rock band, but you can scan this QR code to play music, and there's a slot where you cut this out and you can put your smartphone in the slot and the box becomes a speaker. Have you guys ever done that with like a plastic cup
Yep.
or another box? It's pretty amazing, D. The box, because it funnels the sound through the box and it amplifies it. It's science.
I just have a Bluetooth speaker, so I don't.
Yeah, well, you're all bougie. So we're gonna try the Fruity Pebbles Crunched first. Now it is like a super fun, fruity looking cereal. I mean, it looks
Oh,
super
it's
fun.
cute. It's very colorful.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Bright colors.
I do too.
I don't get it, but I can check the web for Siri. I mean, it's super fun. It's yet as it is.
I don't get it.
Siri's trying to be the next co-host.
Siri, go home. You're drunk.
Yeah, we don't understand your sign language there, John.
Well, I was hoping someone would narrate what's happening. So,
John took a bite and he's making a weird face and he's pointing fingers.
because it's super crunchy. This, unlike regular Fruity Pebbles, this does not get soggy in milk real quick. This stays super crisp, kind of like Captain Crunch. And it has that same crunch factor that is going to tear up the roof of your mouth if you're not careful.
But is it good? We got a thumbs up.
Okay. Does it taste like like Fruit Loops? Oh wait.
It does not taste like regular Fruity Pebbles. I like it though. It's delicious. But and it's actually got a little bit of a vanilla malt flavor to it, which I like a lot. Some people don't like that in their cereal, but I do a lot. Now, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison with Fruit Loops. So I've got some Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops. No root beer, though, James. Let's see. And by the way, I am using my Skeletor color-changing spoon that does not change color. But I'm not bitter. All right, let's see what we got here. Fruit Loops versus Fruity Pebbles.
John is trying the Fruit Loops. He just took a bite. He's now stirring the cereal with his Skeletor spoon that does not change colors. That's supposed to.
All right, first of all, the Fruit Loops are a little bit stale.
John just took another bite. Now he has a mouthful again.
Because I like that, D. I like that. You are now the official narrator. So I love Fruit Loops, but you know what? They do not taste the same.
Okay.
They do not taste the same. As a matter of
John
fact,
contemplates if Fruit Loops and Fruity Pebbles Crunch taste the same. He stares off into space.
as a matter
Probably
of fact,
rethinking his whole life and wondering why he hired us to be his co-host.
And all of a sudden, he hears a grumble in his stomach.
by the way, the Cuphead and Mugman cereal did make me sick. 2 bites did the trick. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, for the win and the reigning champion of the fruit-flavored cereal, Fruity Pebbles Crunched.
Really?
It beats out Fruit Loops, hands down. It does not taste like regular Fruity Pebbles, but it tastes better than Fruit Loops.
Okay.
This is phenomenal.
As John eats the rest of his Fruity Pebbles Crunch, he's doing a little dance because I don't know. I have nothing. It's too early. I can't think of anything.
I love that. No, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Now, wow, that was really great. That was really great. So we have some viewer comments, and by the way, if you're listening or watching, you can comment live with us, and if you want to help us and donate to the show so that we can produce great content for you, and more importantly, so that we don't have to rely on those day jobs and we can get together on a weekly basis. Look, it's only like we only need about $200,000 a year to do this show full time.
Hey, that would be awesome if we could do this show full time. That would be just absolutely phenomenal. I would love that.
Yeah, that would be great. But in the meantime,
I really don't want a second job, folks. I kind of enjoy working at the pet store.
Well, hey, we want to get you out of the pet store and into the cigar lounge permanently. But you guys can be a
That would
part
be
of
fun.
that at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. Now, we do have some viewer comments, and this is how this works. You get to comment and be a part of the show. And this morning we have Cartoon Commotion, our friend Cade, who says, "Good morning, back of the cereal box." Good morning, Cade. Cade is actually going to be on the show with us in a couple of weeks when we talk about Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Yay!
Dun 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 dun.
We'll have to remember to point at each other as if like we're seeing each other for the first time.
Oh, that's funny. That actually never happened. That was just a created meme, but I love it. So Dave Mattingly says, "Happy Saturday, Box Tops." Happy Saturday to you, Dave Mattingly. Today is going to be a happy Saturday because I get to go to the comic book shop today, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be good.
I have to work the next 3 days.
The life of an artist. I have to work again tonight. I'm doing a ghost tour downtown Nashville.
I'm doing photo shoots the next 3 days. That's fun though. I love it.
Facebook user says, "Good morning, John." Good morning, Facebook user. And another Facebook user said, "I didn't watch Shazam." Well, hey, listen, you're not alone, Facebook user. Neither did D. Barty. And Facebook user says, "Good morning, D. I think that might be Sandy Noel. Could be.
Good morning, Facebook user.
Maybe not. Because another Facebook user says, "Willow is Canadian? Yay, Willow."
You can't tell by my truly Canadian accent.
You really don't have no.
No.
You don't. I didn't know until you told me. Seriously.
It tries to come out every so often.
Every now and then when you say about,
A boat.
I'm like, I know where you're from.
A boat.
Other than that, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't know either, Willow. But Eli T. Cash. Eli, you're so weird, my friend.
I know.
He says, proceeds to drink Monster, proceeds to gulp Monster, belch. Hey, Johnny. Hey, everyone.
Classy guy.
Hello, Eli.
The Werewolf of Gallatin. Andrew Milden says, "What happened to that guy from last week?"
Fired him.
I don't know.
He went back to Drew versus the world.
Teresa Lott Cat says, "Hello, how is everyone this morning? Better now that you're here, Teresa." Teresa is an old friend of mine. She's big time in the diesel punk community, and she was on the Diesel Punk podcast one episode when I was doing that. That was great. All right, so Facebook user says, "I had braces." Well, there you go. That's fantastic. All right, this is true. Eli T. Cash says, "Johnny's kidneys are more sensitive. They have freaking noses." So this is true. He's talking about Monster Energy Drink. Monster Energy Drink and energy drinks in general make my kidneys hurt. And I could feel it. Like you're allergic to pine nuts, D. When someone is drinking an energy drink near me, I'm like, it does not make me feel good. Andrew says, "Do a Friday viewing party for the fans." See, that is a great idea in theory, Drew. Except Johnny is usually performing on Friday nights. Friday nights is a big night for an entertainer. And Dee's got 5 kids. They got to go out to the Mexican restaurant, and they're
Maybe
busy.
we can do like a midweek Discord.
So Willow, are you familiar with Discord? Do you know how to use Discord? Because I loathe it entirely.
Oh, okay.
Tell me how you really feel, John.
I find it like I've used Discord for playing video games.
Well, let's talk about that, because I don't want to host anything on Discord, but if you know how to do it, then maybe we can talk about that.
Sure.
So, Eli T, because I hate Discord. My laptop
We
hates
know.
Discord.
We heard.
Eli T Cash says, "Ha ha ha ha." Working like mad people, literally try not to dream of boxes. So he works in a warehouse where he's cutting boxes open for a retail chain here in Middle Tennessee. Context, Eli. Context.
We were just talking about that before we started
That's
the
right.
show, Eli.
He must have been
We were
reading
talking
our
about you.
minds. We really were. We really were because DBRT doesn't have much in Fairview, but they got a dirt cheap. So, Willow, do you guys have ollies in Canada? No.
No.
Do you have like a discount liquidator? Like we have several here. We've got
Kind of like we did at one point have like we have the like little liquidations.
There's another
stores,
one,
but we
Bargain
don't
Hunt
have.
or something.
We had a bargain. We had a bargain shop for a while, and they seem to pop up and then go out of business pretty quickly here. So I don't know. It's really weird. Winnipeg's one like Manitoba is like the cheapskate of Canada. Yeah. So we're known for our looking for bargains. But it seems like all these like little shops tend to pop up. They stay around for a couple of years and then they disappear.
See, we've got ollies, we've got Give Me a Five, we've got Dirt Cheap, we've got Bargain Hunt. They're like weeds here in
but
Middle
Give Me
Tennessee.
Five. Nothing's used in Give Me Five. Oh no,
We got lots of thrift stores like
I'm sorry.
Value Village and like the Goodwill and stuff like that.
So D, what was that thought?
Never mind. I was thinking of Five Below, not Give Me Five.
No, Five Below, yeah.
Never mind. Because I'm
Anyway.
like, oh yeah, I love Give Me Five. I find all
But yeah,
kinds of stuff
we
in-
don't have big chains for liquidation.
Yeah,
I think
they're everywhere down here.
Mhm.
And
I think Target pretty much took care of that when they came up here and took over Zellers.
Okay. Well, see, most of the liquidators here, we were just talking about this before we went on air. Most of the liquidators here are liquidating Target stock.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's why I'm
pretty
like,
funny.
I shop at Dirt Cheap. Shoot, it's a lot of Target stuff, and I love Target. I'm like, look, this is Target brand. This is Target brand.
Oh my gosh, we have so many comments. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, Cade says, Andrew, there's got to be more prep time before you go live than that. Trust me. He's talking about a Discord watch party. I don't know. Maybe. We'll find out. Maybe. Maybe not. Eli T. Cash, hashtag Captain Crunch Christmas edition with a side of Monster Energy. No, we are not putting Monster Energy in the cereal. I can
Can't
go
be any
with,
worse than whiskey.
and Andrew Milden, speaking of which, says Champagne Dreams, cartoon commotion, LOL. And Dave Mattingly joins us in singing The Bunny, I did it for the bunny. The Flintstones Pebbles Bunny.
I get what it's in reference to, but I don't. Is that a song? Is that an
Yeah,
actual
from
song?
VeggieTales. Were your kids not into VeggieTales? D.
What?
D. You've got to. We are the pirates who don't do anything.
I tried.
We just sit home and lay around.
I
And
tried.
if you ask
Trust me.
us if we do anything, they'll just tell you we don't do anything. Golly, VeggieTales is so good. So good.
it was really cute.
My kids are like, this is boring.
How? What?
Yep.
D grimaces, I love white chocolate, says Eli T. Cash. Well, she does. She does. She just doesn't like it with Fruity
Cereal.
Pebbles. Yeah. And let's see. Cade says, great narration, D.
Thanks.
Let me see here. We're not going to get to all of these comments just yet. But Cade does say, looking forward to being on the show. I've been watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and taking extensive notes on it.
Nice.
Back on topic, looking forward to your excitement on classic Shazam. So we're going to get to that in just a minute. We're going to talk about Shazam, but before we do, we need to acknowledge one of our partners, Comic Books for Kids. Check this out.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.
I love that. I love their mission, and we're so glad to be able to partner with them. Now, it is time for Saturday Morning 101, where we talk about the essentials of Saturday morning. In my opinion, the cartoons and the shows that are key to understanding the Saturday experience of our youth, or at least my youth. And I didn't originally have this on the list, but with what happened last week on HBO Max, we'll talk about that in a minute. Little teaser. What happened on HBO Max, Johnny? I'm glad you asked. You'll find out in a minute. I thought this was the perfect time to talk about the 1974 live action cartoon Shazam. Starring Michael Gray as Billy Batson and Jackson Bostwick as Shazam. And Willow, I don't have it in front of me. Look up the mentors, the actor who played the mentor, real quick. I can't remember his name. But this show followed Billy Batson and the mentor as they traveled around the country in an RV. And in the very opening of the show, you are introduced to the concept of Shazam, Captain Marvel, who, when he utters the name Shazam, which is the wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the endurance of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the strength or the immortality of Achilles, and the strength and speed of Mercury. Those 7 characters spell out Shazam. And when he speaks the name Shazam, he becomes the world's mightiest mortal.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
You didn't know what?
That the characters spelled out Shazam.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
See what you learn.
I love
hosting
things like
this
that.
show.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love it too. And in the comic books, Shazam was also the name of the wizard that gave him his powers. But it also spells out the powers from the Greek gods that kind of were combined to turn him into Captain Marvel. And Jackson Bostwick played Captain Marvel Shazam for the first 2 seasons. And by the way, Jackson Bostwick lives here in Nashville. And I have met him. I know him. We've interviewed him for a previous show that we did. And he said, no, I'm not getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday.
Good for him.
But in season 3 of Shazam, Jackson Bostwick was replaced by John Davey, who became the new Captain Marvel, and was a little bit bulkier, had a little bit more of a square jaw, and it was all over pay dispute. It was all over money and creative differences. And so, Willow, did you find the mentor's name?
There was no name for the mentor, but he was played by
actor.
Les Tremaine.
Les Tremaine. Okay. Yeah, he played the mentor. And basically, he was just like Billy's grandpa that drove him around in the RV and gave him advice. Now, in the third or fourth season, they did a crossover with ISIS and Shazam, with John Davy as Captain Marvel and Joanna Coleman, one of the most beautiful women to ever walk the planet, as ISIS. And Dee, do you remember us reviewing ISIS about a year and a half ago?
No.
No.
I remember mocking the wonderful acting that is in that show.
She kind of looks like Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Yeah, she really does. If Catherine Zeta-Jones had redone this character in her 20s, or even today, it would be epic. Now, here's what's really interesting, and we'll get to some trivia on this in a minute. Even as a kid, I didn't really. I like Jackson Bostwick as a person and as an actor. I never bought him as Shazam, and here's why. This is what Shazam looks like in the comics.
It looks like Superman.
Well, he preceded Superman. Superman was created to compete with Shazam, Captain Marvel. But
You know what?
yeah,
So what is it? The movie with The Rock where he's
Black Adam.
there. You go.
mm-hmm.
So they mentioned that. I
Yeah.
was really confused about that. I'm
So-
really confused.
That was a lost opportunity, and we're gonna get back to that in just a minute.
Okay, because I need some explaining for that because like his powers and he has to say Shazam and then only one person can compete with him and that was Superman and like I'm just confused.
Well, you're not the only one.
Okay,
All of fandom is confused.
okay,
So-
cool.
The Shazam TV show ran from 1974 to 1977. And then in 1981, Filmation, who produced the Shazam live action show, also produced a Saturday morning cartoon. And all of these ran on Saturday morning. And this was the Shazam cartoon, which had Billy Batson, Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, and Captain Marvel Jr. Now, and here's another shot of Shazam, Captain Marvel from the Justice League Action Hour.
Superman Shazam.
Well, and then, of course, we got the movies Shazam, along with the sequel Shazam Fury of the Gods, which really focused in on those 7 gods that I mentioned and their powers. And Dee, have you seen the Shazam movies?
No.
You saw Black Adam,
Yeah.
but you've not seen the Shazam movies. Now, Willow, you went and saw Fury of the Gods, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
Did you like it?
I liked it.
Had you seen the previous one?
Yes.
The first one?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the first one was a little bit better than the second one, but
Really?
I haven't heard
I
good
don't know.
things. I
What-
have not seen it because I have not heard good things, and I'm like, okay.
Well, no, everybody liked it. Everybody who saw it liked
it was
it.
good, but I'm gonna be honest and say that the Mario Brothers movie is actually a little bit more entertaining. But
Well, apples to oranges, right?
yeah,
But the critics did ravage Fury of the Gods. And it failed miserably in the box office.
the problem with critics is a lot of them aren't comic book fans.
No. And look, I never look at a critical score like on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't care what the critics think about it. I don't care what user score is. I'm going to go see something that I want to see because it looks fun and exciting to me.
So is it the second one's in theaters right now?
No.
Yeah.
Is that what I
Oh, it should still be in theaters.
No. It left theaters 2 weeks ago, and on April 7th, it went to streaming on HBO Max.
Oh.
Oh.
And that's part of the reason why it failed so miserably, is because fans knew that the pattern has been established that Warner Brothers movies go to live streaming within 30 days after release. Their actual policy is 45 days, but in the case of Fury of the Gods, it tanked so hard in the box office, it lost over $200 million. It failed.
Okay, so
hard.
there definitely needs to be new something when it comes to streaming. How many people tune into to each stream or log into their stream to watch that particular movie, so that they can judge
They measure that now.
often. Yeah.
Oh, they measure
Okay.
that. Absolutely, they do. Now, they've not published the metric yet for Fury of the Gods, but one of the things that fans have been trained to expect the movie 45 days after release on live streaming. So why go pay $15 a ticket when you can wait 45 more days? You've already waited a year or 2 years for this movie to come out. What's another 45 days to watch it ostensibly for free on HBO Max? Yes, you're paying your monthly subscription, but it's included with the subscription and you've got infinitely more content, right? So the concept is I can watch it for free at home.
I can really watch it for free because I have AT&T and HBO comes free with AT&T. So literally, like, that is my philosophy, especially because I have children and you have to get a babysitter and all that mess. So I get it.
Right, but they've trained Disney, Warner Brothers, Lucasfilm, Pixar. They have trained audiences to expect it immediately on streaming, and that's a big problem for them. And Bob Iger at Disney has said, the money is in the box office. We've got to get the box office numbers back. And so they're going to, in the next couple of months, you're going to see all of these studios take a cue from Top Gun Maverick, or Maverick Top Gun, whatever the sequel was called. And you notice that that's not on streaming yet, I don't think, is it? It just came out on video.
I think so. I think it is now.
But it was almost a year after its theatrical release before it was available on video.
That's because that's part of Tom Cruise's contract.
Yeah, well, and guess what the number one highest grossing movie of 2022 was? Maverick, Top Gun. It was the number one movie worldwide because Tom Cruise insisted that it had to stay in theaters, and it stayed in theaters for 6 months. And they just let it percolate and percolate. And you know, a movie doesn't need to stay in the theaters for 6 months, but at least 6 weeks, 8 weeks to get, you know, to get traction and to get people interested, because everyone who saw Fury of the Gods loved it.
It was really good. Yeah.
I've not talked to a single person that didn't think it was a solid Saturday afternoon popcorn comic book movie. But, you know, anyway, we're here to talk about the Saturday morning show, Shazam. And Dee and Willow, I sent you 9 things you never knew about the 70s TV series. I said that in 1974, you know, CBS continued the string of superhero by making Shazam. And we already talked that it's focused on Billy Batson and Captain Marvel. And by the way, a lot of people are going, John, why are you calling Shazam Captain Marvel? Because that was the character's original name. He spoke the word Shazam to activate his powers, but his character name was Captain Marvel. Well, in the 70s, as a result of this TV show, Marvel Comics sued DC Comics, and they gained the right to exclusively use the name Captain Marvel. That's why in the Shazam movies, he never speaks the word Captain Marvel, the name Captain Marvel. And at the end of Fury of the Gods, did anyone catch? He took
Someone
the official
did.
name.
Someone did actually call him Captain Marvel in the movie.
Yeah, but he's not allowed to call himself that. And at the end of Shazam Fury of the Gods, the wizard actually gave him the official name Shazam. So it will be Shazam forevermore. But the mentor in Shazam, the mentor Shazam is gone. So the wizard Shazam is gone and replaced by the elders in the TV show. So that's the 7 elders, the 7 gods whose powers combine. You know, you've got Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Apollo, and
There's
Mercury.
so much of this in Black Adam. I don't understand.
So, okay, here's what you need to know about Black Adam. Black Adam, in the comic book lore, Black Adam was the first champion of Shazam. He became the champion first. He was the first one to wield the power, but he let the power corrupt him, and he became a villain. And so the wizard Shazam had to choose a new champion, and there had been several champions throughout the years. Black Adam killed them all. And Billy Batson, the young child, became the latest champion. And I always love this because, you know, he's a little kid that when he speaks the magic word becomes the mightiest mortal on earth. He becomes an adult. And in the comics and in the cartoon series growing up, he was always a completely separate persona. That's not the case in the Shazam movies. In the Shazam movies, he becomes an adult, he becomes a grown-up, but he maintains his 12-year-old personality.
And Zachary Levi just does a fantastic job at portraying that.
Yeah. So Dee, that's why Black Adam is all filled with the traditional Shazam lore, because he was the first champion of Shazam. Now, that scene at the end with Superman was supposed to be Shazam. But Dwayne Johnson put his foot down and said, no, there's only one champion of Shazam. It's me, Black Adam, and Shazam will not be appearing in my movie. Captain Marvel, Zachary Levi.
That's kind of egotistical of The Rock, isn't it?
It's a big controversy. And so he insisted that Henry Cavill be brought back to do the cameo of Superman to set up a future rivalry between Black Adam and Superman. But it's supposed to be a rivalry between Black Adam and Shazam. Black Adam and Captain Marvel. But neither one will ever happen, because Henry Cavill is out as Superman, and Dwayne Johnson is out as Black Adam.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He was so demanding. The movie lost money again. It lost money, which surprises me because The Rock. Hello.
Mm.
I mean, I went to see it to see The Rock.
Yeah, but you know what? I like him in all of his movies, not all of them, but majority of his movies. But when I found out that he was a superhero character, I was like, really, man? Really? Come on, dude.
The Rock was born to play a superhero.
I don't know. I didn't like it. I like the movie, but I never went to saw it. I never went to see it just because of the concept of like, you're not, I don't know. I just.
Dee Barty co-hosts a show that talks about superhero cartoons and movies, and she does not like to go see superhero movies.
I do. No, I do. I just didn't want to see The Rock as a superhero or a villain or whatever. Like, I don't know why it bothered me. Like, I'm a fan of his, and I love him in majority of things that he does, but don't cross over. No. You stay over here in this genre. You are not a superhero. No. I don't know. I don't know. Something in my brain just went.
He's kind of built for being a superhero, though.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He didn't have to bulk up for the role at all. He was already.
You know
built.
what? He pretty much plays the superhero in all of his movies.
That's
anyway.
right. That's
and
right.
So I'm like, don't cross over into that. What?
D, you know, they have therapy programs for this problem. Anyway, the wizard Shazam is replaced by the 7 elders, the gods who grant their powers to Billy Batson, Captain Marvel. All right. And I already mentioned this. There were 2 different Captain Marvels. The first 2 seasons, Captain Marvel was played by Jackson Bostwick. And in the third, actually, it was the middle of the second season, like mid-season, he was replaced by John Davey and all of season 3. Now, Willow, what did you think about this? That every episode had a different moral?
That makes sense for the period it was filmed in. I think, wasn't it like the 70s that started doing that moral thing?
Well, it was this show. It was specifically this show. At the end of every episode, Captain Marvel would spend just a few seconds giving a helpful lesson to the children. And it became called moral tags in Hollywood. And this is funny. The first season's moral tags were all filmed in a single day at the Franklin Canyon Reservoir in Bel Air. And this tradition would be carried on with a lot of different shows, but in particular, the G.I. Joe cartoon.
G.I. Joe, yeah.
That did these helpful tips for children. And, it was...
Inspector Gadget also did it.
Oh, did they? Well, you remember G.I. Joe was, and knowing is half the battle.
Yep.
It all came from Jackson. And Jackson Bostwick himself is the one who insisted that every show have that. He came up with that idea. He said this is important for kids to have, not just indulge in the cotton candy fantasy of the TV show, but to have something meaningful and useful come out of it.
Oh. Adam West actually has there's a video on YouTube somewhere about with Adam West teaching kids in his Batman outfit how to cross the street properly, and I absolutely love that. But it was filmed in Britain as opposed to the States. I don't know why, but I guess it was cheap to buy it, to purchase the character in Britain to do this little spot. But yeah, I'll send that to you later. And I thought that was just amusing. But you think that would have been something that they would do in the 66 Batman as well. But
well, Adam West would appear as Batman or in the Batman costume for years after, and that show ran to 68, 69. He would appear as in the Batman costume at live events for years, all the way up into the 80s. And so that doesn't surprise me that he continued to do those well, in the 70s, he appeared as Batman officially on TV again in 2 different shows called Challenge of the Superheroes and then Legends of the Superheroes. They were really bad. Really, really bad.
But really, I enjoyed the 70s Shazam. I mean, yes, the acting is kind of cheesy, but I think I don't know. Sometimes you kind of need that cheesiness, cheesy acting. And
well, I made it really easy for you guys because I sent you a video link to just the very best parts. in 13 minutes, the very best parts of the Shazam TV show. And that was the best way to really get a grasp of the live action Shazam. Now, this was not the first live action Shazam, by the way. What, D?
We're looking at the comments.
All right, stay together. It's more fun when we stay
Sorry.
together. Let's see what we got here.
The very last ones.
Okay, Chris Goins says, I loved the show when I was a kid in the 70s. Two guys traveling around in a Winnebago, picking up hitchhikers and such and helping them out. Now at 52, I think they might have been serial killers. Yeah. Yeah, if you pitched that show to Hollywood execs today, it would have a very different outcome.
An old man traveling around with a little boy. Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. Billy Batson was supposed to be a little kid. He was supposed to be like, 12 or 13 years old, but the actor Michael Gray, who played Billy Batson, was 25 years old when he was playing a high school senior.
Huh.
Or no, that was Tom Holland, who was 25 years old playing a high school senior. But Billy Batson, Michael Gray, was in his 20s. Okay, he was 24 at the time of filming and 26 by the time the series went off the air. Really, he should have never transformed into anybody different at all. And in Shazam! Fury of the Gods, Mary, you'll notice, is the same actress before she becomes, Shazamified, and the same actress after. Everybody else is different because they grow up, they become older. But not Mary, because she's already an adult at 18. But yeah, that was a big appeal for me as a kid. That a little kid could speak a magic word and become the mightiest mortal on earth. That, to me, always made Shazam my favorite. I always loved that. He's always been my favorite. And all right, so Rich Asplin did clarify that Top Gun is on Prime now. And I like this. Rich Asplin also adds that critics, talking about critic scores, are thinking about it cinematically and academically. And I go to watch things because, holy crap, did you see that? I will say this about Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
I don't think
it is
that's
maybe
crap.
No. It was holy crap. Did you see that? So, because here's the thing about this movie, it had the single best special effects I've ever seen in any movie. There was a moment, Willow, where I had to remind myself, wait a minute, dragons aren't real. That's not really there. That's CGI generated. But it was so good, I was totally immersed. And that's never happened to me in a movie before.
That's cool.
They did a really good job on the computer generated portion of the film. Yeah.
So Cade at Cartoon Commotion says, the mentor, hey, RV guy. That's what I'll call him, the RV guy. Yeah. He's the guy who drove the Winnebago, and he's the one who said, Billy, I think you need to speak the magic word because somebody needs your help. And he never fought supervillains. It was always, helping someone who had like a flat tire or something like that, or thwarting a robbery. No supervillains. And Andrew Milden says, I did not know that it spelled out Shazam, just like D. Wow. And
Andrew,
it's okay. I had that moment in what was it, the Avengers, where the guy from S.H.I.E.L.D. was coming after them, and he said the whole word, and then it over my head.
Oh yeah, the Strategic Homeland International Espionage Legal Division.
Comic book fans since the early 90s, and I can't figure out S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. And Dave Mattingly says the RV guy is the wisdom of Solo Man. And Cade likes how I call Shazam a live action cartoon. Love how you phrased that, Johnny. Well, that's what it was. It was a live action cartoon in the same vein as the Banana Splits, the Sid and Marty Krofft shows, Land of the Lost. Those were live action cartoons. A cartoon isn't always animated. most commonly, but not always. And speaking about merchandise liquidators, Liquidator is also the name of a character in the show Inhumanoids. Every time you say it, I'm thinking about that cartoon, Liquidator. So anyway, that catches up. Oh, that's funny. So Chris Goyne says the Winnebago two guys traveling around thinks they might have been serial killers, and Andrew Milden says cereal killers, as in Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, cereal. And Andrew Milden says, keep Tom Holland out of this. He's a national treasure, that nation being England. That's funny. That's funny. And Rich Asplin says, it was wholly insert your favorite expletive. And I love this. And this kind of goes back to why I loved Captain Marvel so much. He has a heart because he's a boy at heart. This is Cade saying this with cartoon commotion. A hero with the heart of gold. This is what makes his character so special to me, and me too, Cade. Something that these shows and tunes captured well. Yes. Yes. And I love this from Twitch. I don't know how to pronounce that username, but Godzilla Forever, maybe we'll abbreviate. Who knows? But Shazam gets criticized, but we are on a 5th Fast and Furious movie. No problem.
It says 10th, not 5th.
Oh, see, I think it only deserves 5. That's why I substituted that.
I mean, so that goes back
10th.
to The Rock. He's joined the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Yeah, but he also has an issue. Like him and Vin Diesel have a thing going, don't they? Where they kind of butted heads.
Yeah, they don't like each other. And Andrew Milden says, oh no, Johnny is losing it. No, I'm not losing it. It was lost long ago. But anyway, we could talk about Shazam for hours because, you had the live action Saturday morning cartoon. You had the 1981 cartoon by Filmation. And by the way, D. Barty, Filmation also did the original Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters. Let's go, Ghostbusters. Let's go. You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
No.
So
Johnny, there better be a Ghostbusters.
I'm gonna try and find an image because I did not load this up. All right, let's see. Filmation Ghostbusters. Okay, come on.
As we all sit and wait patiently for John.
I know. Narrate it.
Dee and Willow were quite bored. Dee can't sit still, so she's constantly moving. And Willow is trying to help John load said image.
All right, I found it. Here we go.
Keeps shaking up my world here.
Let's see if this will load. Oh, good. It's
Loading.
a JPEG.
Loading.
Excellent. Here we go.
Now loading to StreamYard.
This will take 2 seconds. Download.
Wish I had the AOL.
All right. D, this is the original Ghostbusters.
What the actual heck is that?
They are the original Ghostbusters.
Why does he look like Donkey Kong?
Well, because he was Tracy the gorilla. Or
Okay.
Spencer. Anyway, it's a whole thing. The original Ghostbusters was a live-action TV show, black and white, in the 60s.
What?
And then Filmation adapted it as a cartoon in the 80s. The movie that you love so much is not the original, and it almost was not called Ghostbusters because they couldn't get the name, the license for the name Ghostbusters from Filmation. And in the 11th hour, they got it made. There's actually a great documentary about it called The Movies That Made Us on Netflix. If you love Ghostbusters, check it out. But
Okay, when we doing a Ghostbusters episode?
Well, soon, but we're going to do it about this Ghostbusters.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll do it about both of them, because they were both on Saturday mornings at different eras. But yeah, and the theme song to this was "Let's Go Ghostbusters, Let's Go." Some people prefer the original Ghostbusters over the fake Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
My man,
Not
you're
in this house.
Well, listen,
There's only one group of Ghostbusters that exists solely in our household, and yeah, we have pretty much all the Ecto ones to go along with it.
Well, listen, we could talk about Shazam all day, but we need to run this commercial from our partner, Kelly Gettner, who has a brand new audiobook in the works, and you can become a part of supporting it. Check this out.
Hey there, I am Kelly Gettner, also known as Kelly Edwards, and this video is about Scorcher, the audiobook Indiegogo campaign. Scorcher is about Aiden, who is a superpowered woman who was recruited by a shadowy criminal organization when she was a child. Aiden wants out of the business when she falls in love with Marty, who's secretly a superhero. This is a story about love, redemption, the dangers of keeping secrets, and of course, superheroes and supervillains. We're raising the funding via Indiegogo to bring the story to life as an audiobook, and so I've selected passages to show off my amazing narrators and their talents. So enjoy.
Aiden had always imagined flying to be more exhilarating than this. Instead of soaring through the air with nothing else to do but enjoy the view, she was bogged down with memories as her life raced through her thoughts. As the icy expanse below rushed up to meet her, Christmases and birthdays and lazy Sundays flew through her mind, occasionally punctuated by the dying screams of her parents. She'd come a long way from being that little girl that was once found in the ashes of the family home, but there were times when she felt just as lost as she had then. She pulled the cord on her backpack, and a sharp tug yanked through her body. The echoes of laughter and snatches of screams disappeared once the ground's ascent slowed. Her mind cleared, and the past retreated to the hidden corner of her thoughts as she lightly touched to the ground. Once again there was only this moment, only this reality. All that remained was the mission. This was as it should be.
Now it was his job to back up Fantôme, one of his teammates, while she delivered the virus to the scientist. Speaking of the heroine, the woman with silvery hair and a ghost-like complexion approached him through the woods. She gave him a terse but polite nod. "Good to see you, Chill." "You too, Fantôme, though I'll be happier when this is all over with." "I'm sure you'll feel safer once the virus is destroyed. Are you sure you can trust this scientist of yours?" "I'm sure. The champion wouldn't have sent us to him if he didn't believe he could be trusted." Beside him he thought he heard a chuckle. He looked over at Fantôme in surprise, but her face showed no signs of laughter. A hot sensation collided with Chill's back. It spread through his veins and his skin prickled in pain. He groaned and received a fist to the gut. He fell backwards, his skin still tingling in pain. A flash of white light filled his eyes, and another pulse of heat impacted him. He tried to control the twitching from the second impact and directed a wall of ice at his attackers. Fantôme's face bent over him, melting into a tan skin tone, her hair darkening to a jet black. She reached into his suit and retrieved the vial. "Trust is for the naive."
All right, that is awesome. That is from our friend Kelly Gettner, who is a frequent co-host of Back of the Cereal Box, and she hosts Cosplay Cafe on the Cereal Box Network. And coming this Wednesday, a brand new podcast on our network called The Gilmore Sisters. It is a Gilmore Girls rant podcast by Kelly Gettner and Crayley Vanest, the Phoenix Sisters cosplay duo. So you want to check that out. But check out Scorcher, become a supporter of the audiobook, and that would be great. Now, before we finish a morning, you know, when I was a kid, we poured the cereal, we sat down, to watch the cartoons, and then we would dig into the box to pull out the toy to get the prize. And this is a segment that we like to call New Loot. New Loot. And in this segment, we're going to reach into the cereal box. Does anybody else have anything in their cereal box this morning?
I have a couple things, yeah.
All right. So since we're talking about Shazam, I'm going to do this first. I'm going to reach into the box and I'm going to pull out
Oh, sweet.
That's
my
so cool.
Shazam Mego. This is the 50th anniversary Mego figure of Shazam. It's only available at Walmart and Meijer if you can find it, or online for exorbitant amounts of money. Retails for $19.99 in the store. This is exactly how Shazam was created, how the Megos were packaged in the 70s when I was a kid. Great original artwork on the back, and fully articulated, 8 inches. The costume is cloth, comes off. And Willow, I had this when I was in kindergarten, and I carried this Shazam figure with me everywhere I went. It went with me everywhere.
That's
and
so
so
cute. Little baby Johnny and his
Yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah, to get this again as an adult just makes me so happy.
No.
And
You're
it's
gonna carry it
topical.
around with you everywhere.
You know, I've considered it. I have considered it. So, Dee, what do you got this week? What's in your box of cereal?
So you see, I've become like obsessed with the Pops, right? So my bestie, the best friend in the world, she found the Superman one for me.
Nice.
Everyone, Dee is holding up her Superman Pop and
love
cuddling it, caressing it. She's become obsessed with Pops.
I really have. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Funko, you need to sponsor this show so that Dee can get Pops and review them.
You should see me when I go into like a comic book store. That's the only thing that I go and look at. And I'm like, I pick out all the ones that I love, and I look at all the money that it will cost. And I'm like, okay, I can get one.
Or you look at Brian and go, Brian, I'm getting Pops this week. You're not getting baseball cards this week.
No, it was so cute because last time we went, they had the Ghostbusters collection, and he was like, I'll buy those for you, babe. And I was like, ah! And he did. And here they are.
I love that.
That's the problem that I have with Funko Pops is I have my Elvira ones, and of course I walked by the wall one time and I saw Resident Evil stuff. I'm just like, no.
They have so many cool ones. They have Jurassic Park ones, you guys. They have dinosaur. Oh my gosh, I want those so bad. And they have like Dolly Parton, and I'm like, my daughter is obsessed with Dolly Parton, and I'm like,
So-
I need that.
That Dolly Parton Pop is available from our partner, Entertainment Earth. There is a link in the show notes. If you click the link, you can go to Entertainment Earth, and they have the Dolly Parton Pop. And it costs you nothing extra, but it helps us because we get a commission if you buy from our affiliate partner. So, Dee, when you need to buy Pops, buy it from us.
Okay.
And help fund our amazing broadcast excellence.
John, there's a comment here that you need to answer.
Uh-oh.
They obviously have not watched the show.
Which Superman does Dee like more? Reeves, Smallville, Tom Welling, Dean Cain, or Cavill? I can say it is definitely Dean Cain. She likes Dean Cain so much, there's a restraining order.
I met him.
And that's why there's a restraining
And that's
order.
why there's a restraining order.
All
He
right,
was
Will-
my first look. I'm just gonna go into it for a second. He was how I was introduced to Superman. So when I was a kid, Dean Cain, what was it called? Lois and Clark. It was the Lois and Clark. So he was who I knew as Superman. And so it would be like you meeting Christopher Reeves before he passed away. You know, like that's why I was so like, you know, what I was when I met Dean Cain.
Listen, it's been years, and when I see Dean Cain at events, he still asks me, "Where's that crazy blonde?" Anyway, I love it. I love it. I love the pops, Dee. Thank you for sharing. Willow, reach into your box and show
All
us
right.
what you got this week.
So my husband likes to help me out with my my nerdiness.
Oh my gosh!
We
you got
encourage
more
each
Garbage
other.
Pail Kids.
Garbage Pail
yes,
Kids.
I got more cards to add to my collection. All right, I got myself a new coffee mug.
Oh, that's beautiful.
What is that? It's a moose.
It's a moose.
It looks like a spectral moose.
Here, let me get rid of this. All right, so I love Aboriginal art, and this is done by a Canadian artist, Patrick Hunter.
That's very cool. But Willow, can we go back just a moment?
Oh, yep.
Let's talk about the Garbage Pail Kids.
Right.
So, Dee, I guess you weren't with us the Saturday morning that we discovered that Willow has a problem. And the problem is Garbage Pail Kids.
I bought Walmart, like one store, just one store out of their whole stock of Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Wiped them out.
Oh.
My husband went back to that same store and bought them out again.
Aw, that's so sweet.
You know, it's funny because I posted an article, I think, on our Facebook page. It popped up this morning from another site, or this week from another site, Remember the 80s. And Garbage Pail Kids were all the rage when I was a kid, but they were really controversial because parents hated the Garbage Pail Kids because it's gross out humor, right?
It's making fun of
the Cabbage Patch
Cabbage
Kids.
Patch.
But it's all gross out humor and, you know, bodily functions. I'm not a fan. Dee, do you like gross out humor? Like mucus and vomit and
No,
flatulence and...
I don't like mucus and vomit. I draw the line there. Anything else is fine. I actually find other stuff pretty funny.
Well, you might like Garbage Pail Kids.
I like some of them.
Hated it. And Cade asks, Garbage Pail Addicts Anonymous. All right, first day with my new tongue.
Anonymous.
I'm all tang-tungled. That's hysterical. That is hysterical. And the Garbage Pail Kids show, according to Cade, was hated so much it didn't make it to TV. It wasn't as gross as the cards, but it wasn't well written, in my humble opinion.
And yet we had Ren and Stimpy last for, 10 years? And then now, well, with Family Guy, South Park, and, whatever else. All the Adult Swim shows
Ren
now.
and Stimpy pushed the line right up. Well, hello.
Hello, man behind the curtain.
Ignore
Pay
the
no
man
attention
behind
to
the
the man
curtain.
behind the curtain.
That's funny.
I am the great and powerful I.
Ta-da! We all bring it full circle back to Dee's passion of the Wizard of Oz. Yay!
I need some Wizard of Oz pops, guys.
They make them.
Somebody
You know what?
buy them for me.
I'm going to Dragonfly Comics and Collectibles this morning. They've got the biggest selection of pops in Middle Tennessee.
John,
I'll take pictures.
I need them.
That's funny. That's funny. Wildcard Arts and Entertainment says Two Stupid Dogs was the show that pushed the line. So anyway, we're not going to get to all the comments this morning because we are way over time. This might be the longest episode we've ever done. But I want to remind everyone that you can come see us live at a couple of upcoming events. You can see us at Metrotham Con, May 12th through the 14th. And I will be there paneling, performing, and doing an episode of this show with a very special live co-host. And be watching our Facebook page for that. The last time I did a live without Dee, Peppermint Patty was my co-host. So you never know what might happen. And then Dee and I will both be at the IC Collectors Con, ICCC, and that is the last weekend of May in Nashville, Tennessee. We will be doing our podcast live on the podcast stage. We will be, going throughout the convention. Dee will be interviewing celebrities that she has no clue who they are.
Ugh.
No, that's a good thing.
No,
Only-
last time
Only
that
one
was-
time. Only one time.
and that was at ICCC.
I know.
con that-
I know. But it's your strength. It's your superpower. She has no clue who any celebrities are, so she has no shame and no fear.
Unlike
what-
Dean Cain.
That's why there's a restraining order. No fear, no shame. Anyway,
He touched me first.
anyway.
And the truth comes out.
Actually, I think there is a little bit of truth about that.
He did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. How everyone's going to want to hear the story again. We don't have time for it because
Maybe next week.
we've got to head out. Make sure you follow Willow at Willow Schuyler everywhere online, especially her TikTok. It's hysterical. You can follow DBarty at DBarty Photo on all of the socials.
Oh.
And you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm going through some rebranding, so that's why I don't have the website up.
It's just Johnny.
Yeah, it's just Johnny, but you can follow all of our hijinks at backofthecerealbox.fun. And we highly recommend you do that. And if you like this show, please share it. Tell 200-300 of your closest friends and family. Post comments, post reviews on our Facebook page, whatever platform you're listening or watching, subscribe, post a review. That really helps us. And if you love the show, contribute. Pony up. Put some
because
shekels in the collection plate.
our goal is to film from Central Perk live.
That is one of our goals. That is true. That is true. So you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. That's buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. And if you hate the show, donate even more generously to help us improve and to keep us commercial free. That would help a lot. Well, with that, it is time for us to say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, bonjour. Until next week, love you, mean it. We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.
Bye.